Welcome back to the New Music Alliance Radio Hour. I'm your host, Camille, and I'm here with Violet Hausthor. And you just heard Won't Mean a Thing by The Humming, and before that, Butterflies by the Gaslight Tinkers.
Two awesome bands, both of them from Brattleboro, Vermont. Let's start things off with the Gaslight Tinkers. This band's awesome. They just mash so many different genres together. I heard a bit like that stompy blues thing going on in here, but they also combine Afropop, reggae, Caribbean, funk, and Latin music with like anything else under the sun. They do it all.
This was a super exciting track to listen to. Like you said, I love that stompy beat. And it has this blues energy, but at the same time, it's got pop in there. It's got light rock in there. I can't wait to hear more from this band as well.
Absolutely. This is off their second album, which just came out in July. And I've been looking forward to it for a while now. Back when I was interning at Northfire Studios over in Amherst, Massachusetts, I actually heard some of these tracks in the production stages back when I was working with Garrett Sawyer, who is, as well as being a part of Northfire Studios, is the bassist for the Gaslight Tinkers.
Oh, that's
and as well as one of the main producers and songwriters. So I got to hear some of these tracks early, a good few years ago. And then the release came in July, and I listened through the whole album, and it lived up to my hopes and dreams. It's really, really good.
That's super exciting. I love the genre blending there.
Yeah, it's fun. They also have a show October 29th at 8 p.m. with the Detrani brothers over in Turner's Falls. If you haven't seen them live, they're quite the live group. Not just a studio project. They do some really, really impressive live shows. And then The Humming with Won't Mean a Thing. They were an alternative band from the sort of mid to late 90s. I think they had pretty much broken out by the 2000s, but they describe themselves as disco folk. But I also hear like jazz, psychedelic, and jam band influences. Like it's a bit Grateful Dead, it's a bit Pink Floyd, but the horn playing just adds this whole other dimension to it. I love it.
The production on the vocals and the guitars is just so it's fuzzy, it's clean. You know, you've got a little bit of that Pink Floyd sound. It's just like a super chilled out track. Great pick for one of the first days of autumn. And I noticed a lyric about the changing of the leaves, which I thought was a really good choice there.
Well, there we go. Yeah, no, this is a really fun track off a really fun EP. They also have a few live albums out. They're cool too, but there's only so much available about them online. However, Ty Gibbons, who was the lead songwriter and one of the members of The Humming, still does music to this day. I happen to find that he scores like featured films and documentaries. He's the co-founder and principal writer for the indie folk band Red Heart the Ticker, and he occasionally teaches music at a variety of institutions around the area, including the Putney School in Vermont.
Oh, that's awesome. I can really, now that you mention it, I can hear some of where the like film soundtrack intuition would come from in the production on this track.
Yeah, it's really cool to hear this track with that context of what the lead songwriter would later go on to do. Yeah. And it's an awesome track. Whoa, there's a lot going on there. It's exactly the sort of thing I want to hear. So let's take things into a bit more of a sort of alt-rock direction. We're going to be starting that off with a track by Vicki F. Here's Blood Moon.